Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia, and in this video I'm going to show you how I made this Jack Skellington tumbler using a temporary tattoo. So I did this last year before I was making tutorials. It was a big hit. I actually did make this cup for myself, but I wound up keeping it because I made a mistake on here. And so this year I decided, because I had extra tattoos from last year, that I was going to do this again, but I was going to do an opal glitter underneath it and applied by the Tack-It Method, and I absolutely love the way this came out. So I also did a wine bottle, a lighted wine bottle. You can't see it because my lights are too bright, but when you turn this on, there's a little light inside. Oh, there you go. And I don't show you how I did this, but it's the same technique. So if you're interested to see how I did this, stick around and I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so I am using a 20-ounce Skinny Straight by Makerflow, and I have sanded it and spray painted it matte white. So if you're not sure how to prep a cup, go ahead and jump back on my channel. I'm actually going to list it above and see how I did that. And so now what I'm doing is I'm applying my Aleene's Tack-It over and over. I have not watered it down. I'm using it straight from the bottle on the cup. I'm only going to use one coat of it. Some people prefer to use 2 coats and they like to water it down. I just use 1 coat and I use it straight from the bottle. So it's up to you what you want to do, but that's how I apply it. And then I'm going to let it dry for about 10 or 15 minutes. And when it's dry, then it's going to be ready to apply my opal glitter. So if you're not familiar with Aleene's Tack-It over and over, it is a repositional glue. It goes on white and dries clear, and when it dries, it is tacky. And that's what we want when we are varnishing down our glitter. And the point of varnishing down our glitter is to make sure that it is nice and flat. And with an opalescent glitter or holographic glitter, it brings out these opal tones, or it brings out these like beautiful rainbow tones, depending on the glitter. So once that is dry, depending on the temperature in your room, and your dry time, can vary between 10 to 20 minutes, you're going to go ahead and take your glitter. This is Fresh Snow by Glitter Makes It. It is a iridescent white opal glitter. And so you're going to do a full glitter dump on this, and you're going to make sure you've got complete coverage. Once you've got all that on there, you're going to go ahead and rub it down with your fingers. Now you can use a gloved hand, or you can use a, regular, you don't need to use a glove. You can use a silicone brush. There's a couple of different things that you can use to press this glitter down. It's, completely up to you. I do it with my hand. I also, whatever glitter falls, I reuse. And the reason why I think it's okay to reuse is because the glue is dry. And I've not had any issues. Some people want to put it in a separate container, considering it to be contaminated. I used to do that, but found that it wasn't necessary. And I've had no issues with the glitter that drops off to reuse it. Once I'm done tacking this glitter down, I'm going to give it 2 coats of polyacrylic, and the reason why I'm doing this is because epoxy will repel on it and the tattoo won't stick very well, so you want something for the tattoo to grab on. And I let that dry for about 15 minutes to a half an hour, depending on, again, dry times vary depending on your room temperature. And so now I've got my tattoo, and it comes in a full sheet. It is an arm sleeve tattoo, and since I've done a lot of these, I kind of know where to cut. But so just measure on your cup, line it up from the top to the bottom, or you can measure your cup. These cups are 8 inches. You could also just measure on the tattoo and then cut along that line. So that's what I'm doing here. And once you've cut it in half and you know where your line's going to be, go ahead and trim around the edges. We don't need all of that. So get around the right side and the back side. And so Jack Skellington on this cup is the focus. So I'm going to use the entire tattoo from left to right and wrap it around my cup. So temporary tattoos come with a protective film. You want to take that off, but make sure that when you're positioning on the cup that, and I wet that by accident. I forgot, you wet it with water slide and not with a tattoo. So I wasn't thinking, because I do so many water slides. But anyway, so dry that off. take your protective film off, place it on the cup. Be very careful. Don't press it down right away because it is tacky. So once you put it on that cup, it is going to stick, especially if you're using a matte surface. So I'm going in with a water bottle now, and I am just spraying the paper. A lot of people have a tub of water next to them with a paper towel. I used to do it that way, but I just, now just grab my squirt gun and just squirt the paper, press it down with my paper towel, smooth it out, make sure I get any bubbles out. And I'm just going to go around, since it wraps like a little bit more than halfway around the cup because this is a skinny straight. So I'm going to just kind of twist it and then just take my paper towel and rub it all on. Make sure it soaks for, a couple of seconds. Don't be too quick to lift it, and, get that all nice and soaked. So by the time you get around to that final side, the first side should be ready to start lifting. So I just keep smoothing it out and grab a corner and very gently lift up to see if it's starting to release from the paper. This one releases pretty easily. I've not had any issues with these tattoos. They've been absolutely wonderful. I found these on Amazon, and they come in, you can either buy a single or you can buy packs of 12. I think I buy the packs of 12. So I'm just going to go ahead and smooth this out now that the tattoo is off. I'm going to press it down. If there's any bubbles, they're going to pop while I'm pressing it down. If they do not pop, go ahead and you can take your weeding tool and just put a little poke, a little tiny hole in it, and then just press it down. But look at that opalescent glitter underneath. That is so absolutely gorgeous. And so that's it. Then you let that side dry and you go back around, and we're going to work on the other side when this side is dry. And so I'm going to prep and get that ready while we're waiting. And this is the Oogie Boogie. Yeah, that's what he's called, Oogie Boogie side. And so we're going to trim him down a little bit more. We're going to take out more of that design, and I'm going to try to, make sure that there's not too much overlap. So, this is just trial and error and doing it, and just, trim a little bit before you trim a lot. So, you can always keep trimming, but once you've trimmed that off, you can't take it back. So make sure you do like a little trimming at a time. You can go ahead and do what I'm doing and measuring to see what is left on the cup, and then measure that on your tattoo design so that you can kind of place out where you want to trim. That's what I found is the best way to do it when I'm doing with a skinny cup, or any cup actually, your fatties, because they're different dimensions. And so with the fatty tumblers, you can get more around the cup. So obviously you would cut less, but again, cut less, then this way you can keep trimming. If you get too hasty and you cut too much, then you're kind of, you're screwed. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off the bottom because, of the height, the 8-inch height. And, most of the time I don't do measuring. If you've watched a lot of my videos, I do go in and I just eyeball things. But with this, I do bring out my ruler, and then I'm trimming around. So, that's pretty much it until I'm ready to place this down on my cup. All right, so now that my tattoo on the other side is dry and this one's all trimmed out and I've got it placed, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to just, just look, sorry, you see the top of my head here. Just really on the top of my head. Sorry, guys. But I was looking around like I'm trying to, line it up. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to line this up. I'm going to peel the protective layer off. I'm going to stick it on the cup, spray it down, and wipe, get it nice and wet, and make sure that tattoo is, released from the paper before I take it up. But you see, I'm trimming again because I'm like, oh, I put it on the cup and I'm like, well, I need just a little bit more. So that's what I'm saying. Be very, make sure that you're just doing a little bit of trimming. Then this way you can continue to trim little by little as you need it, so that it lines up. So I am now ready to place my tattoo down, and it's going on the cup. And I am still lining up, but pretty good. Spray it down. This is it. Do or die, guys. We're doing it. We're putting it on. And this time I'm going to work my way from top to bottom because, the dimension of space that I have is only like 3.5 inches. So I can see the entire thing. I don't have to flip it around. So just spraying, patting, doing the same thing I did on the other side. All right, I had a successful peel on this and it looks absolutely gorgeous. So as you can see, there's some white spots on the cup. So what I want to do is I'm going to take, once everything is nice and dry, give it about a half an hour to an hour to dry. I'm going to take some black alcohol ink and a sponge. It's a sea sponge that I picked up on Amazon or one of the stores. I don't even know. I can't even tell you. I take some alcohol ink and I squirt it into a cup, and then I'm dabbing it on the cup in the white spots that I want to try to blend in with the tattoo, because they're kind of stark white, and I did cut this a hair too short, the Oogie Boogie side, so I'm just gonna fill that in up top and just kind of blend it out. And it works really well, the black alcohol ink over the glitter and the polyacrylic, and just keep dabbing it, and you can make it as dark or as light as you want, and you can keep going back over it. That's the beauty with alcohol ink, is you can kind of layer it and to the look that you want. And so I just am dabbing it on because I want it to be more of like a smoky look, and in all the places. And so where the tattoo is lighter down, like in the middle, I do it lightly, and then I darken it up at the top. So just keep going around until you've blended it to your liking. And I also use the alcohol ink on the bottom. So I'm just, dabbing that on the bottom like I did around the top, and, and the white spots. And so I'm doing the same technique. I'm just dabbing. I'm not wiping it on so that you can see that glitter through. And it's just kind of a fine, like smoky look at the bottom. I'm going to let that alcohol ink dry about an hour. I'm going to spray seal it with gloss clear, and then I'll be ready for my first coat of epoxy. All right, guys, this is all done. It took 2 coats of epoxy. Really, I probably could have gotten away with 1, but just to be on the safe side, I decided to do a second coat. Love, love, love this. It's got that shimmer that I was looking for. And I wish I would have done this with last year's cups, because I like this so much better, and it wasn't any harder. When you do things with the Tack-It method, it makes it so easy. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you like this. Please give me a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe. Check the description box down below for some links to products that I used with affiliate or discount codes. I'm not listing everything like I used to, so I'm just I'll tell you where I got the products from, and leave me a comment. I love to hear your feedback, and that is it for this tutorial, guys. I will see you all next time. Bye.